Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Madison here, aka Dandelion, and today we are continuing to talk about dream work and sleep magic. And specifically what we're going to be talking about in this video is how to interpret your dreams, how to analyze your dreams so you can understand them on a deeper level. Before we get into the topic, make sure you like and subscribe, and remember you can hit that join button below this video to get access to members only perks. If you want to know more about dream work and sleep magic, check out the video I posted right before this one that gives you more general information on working with your dreams, how to get started working with sleep magic and dream work. So check out that video if you're wanting a more fundamental overview of dream work and sleep magic. And then you can come back to this video and learn more about how to analyze your specific dreams. Also, before we get into the topic, I just want to shamelessly plug myself for a second. Analyzing dreams is a specialty of mine. I love analyzing dreams, my own and other people's. Pretty much everybody who knows me calls me and asks me to interpret dreams that they have. Yes, Giles, I see you. I understand. And I actually offer this service, dream analysis, through my website. So you can go to my website, which is linked in the bio below, and you can reach out to me through there and we can do a dream analysis session. So if you want to have help analyzing your dreams from someone like myself who's done this a lot, then reach out to me and I'll be happy to help you understand your dreams more deeply. You make fur float through the air and then it's in my lungs and it's in my bloodstream. So let's get into it. The first thing we're going to talk about is why are we even trying to interpret our dreams? Dream work is shadow work. Dream work is a window into the subconscious. So dream work is shadow work. Shadow work, if you don't know what that is just the practice of getting in touch with and exploring our shadow self. So our shadow self is the aspect of ourself or the aspects of ourself that are a little less enjoyable. Maybe they cause us trouble, they make things hard for us, maybe they're limiting us in some way. So our shadow self are the aspects of ourselves that limit us, hold us back, cause us problems, give us trouble. And so through shadow work, one method of which is dream analysis and dream work, sleep magic, is to understand ourselves more deeply, understand the aspects of ourselves that maybe we aren't a big fan of, and also to cultivate self-love, even self-love for those shadow aspects. So becoming aware of our shadow self is very important for being able to move toward our greatest and highest good. And so analyzing our dreams gives us a window into what's going on in our brain, what's going on in our energy field. I don't know if you can see all the fur on camera, but it's like a plague. What was I saying? I blame you, Mr. Hercules. So dreams give us a window into what's going on beneath the surface with our body, with our mind, with our energy field. So that's why analyzing our dreams is helpful. Also, just on a more practical level, dreams can be really confusing. A lot of dreams, you wake up and you're like, what? And some dreams feel more prophetic than others. So some dreams feel like they have messages versus other dreams feel like just your brain mushing a bunch of stuff together while you sleep. And then you can kind of be like, okay, I don't think I need to analyze that dream. And then there are other dreams where you're like, okay, yeah, that clearly had some kind of symbolic meaning. There's clearly a deeper message to this dream. So like when I have a dream that's just basically the zombie apocalypse, but I'm in it, I don't think I need to analyze that dream. I think that's just my brain being like, you've been watching a lot of zombie stuff. Let's get into the fun stuff of how to analyze your dreams on your own if that's something you're trying to do. So the first thing that you're going to do if you have a dream that you want to analyze or you want to start to look into is you're going to write down or record your dream. So you can do this in a lot of ways. You need to write down what happened in the dream, or speak what happened in the dream into some kind of recording device. You can draw elements of the dream if there are certain symbols that you saw or a face you saw, or just like, even if you don't have to be an artist, even if you just sketch out, like, this is what the room I was in looked like, or this is what the animal I saw looked like, but I don't know what kind of animal it is. Write down every single detail that you can remember. No detail is too small. Write down who was there, what happened, where were you? Did you have any sensory experiences? Did you see things, hear things, smell things, feel things? How did you feel emotionally in the dream? Did you feel scared? Did you feel nervous? Did you feel unsafe? Did you feel joy? Did you feel really safe? Did you feel love? Did you feel like there were other beings who were really focused on you? Did you feel invisible? So write down every single detail you can remember about that dream. And if anything was said, whether it be verbally or like silently through some kind of energetic telepathic thing, anything that was communicated to you, write that down as well. Were there any animals? Did you see any specific colors? Did those colors come up a lot? Did those animals come up a lot? Did the animal follow you? Did the animal run away from you? You know, these are all things you want to think about. Write down every single detail. You also want to write down how you felt when you woke up and what time did you wake up. Is this a dream that you woke up from at 2 a.m.? Is this a dream that you woke up from when your alarm rang in the morning? So write down those things. Write down how you felt when you woke up. Did you wake up sweating? Did you wake up breathing heavy? Did you wake up feeling scared? Did you wake up crying? Did you wake up feeling just like unsettled? Or did you wake up feeling really rested and good? So write down all of those things, or say all those things into a recorder if you don't want to write or can't write for whatever reason. Then once you have everything recorded in some form, every single detail of what went on, you're going to go thing by thing and you're going to start researching those specific aspects of the dream. So once we're going item by item, we're going to be looking at the properties of each thing and the symbolism of each thing. And sometimes your analysis will find with a specific thing, I don't know, I don't think there's any specific meaning to that. That's okay. Write that down. Keep going through each thing. Because maybe some details are more important than other details. And sometimes as you go through the list of details, you'll realize, oh, this thing 5 details before makes sense to me now. Now it's all coming together, because as I'm putting all the pieces of the puzzle together, it all starts to make sense in ways that it didn't when you were looking at the individual details before. So even if something doesn't make sense or you can't find a clear symbolism or property of that thing, then just keep going and come back to it after you've analyzed other details of the dream. A brief note on research. When you're researching for your dream analysis work, you can do this online or you can do this in books. I personally am always a proponent of books. If you look through my channel, you know I love books. I have a lot of books. So you can get a lot of books about dream analysis, dream interpretation, the correspondences of things, the properties of things, the symbolism of things, the meaning behind certain objects or beings. There are a lot of books about that. And later on in this video, I'm going to be sharing some book recommendations for dream analysis and dream interpretation. So stay tuned for that. Shortly, we're going to be talking about that. But if you are going to do your research online, some things are easier to research online than they are in books. Or sometimes you won't have a book to research that specific thing. You know, dreams can be very specific and pointed. So sometimes you need the internet. So if you're researching online, use discernment. Be responsible in your internet usage. No AI. No AI. No AI. Okay? AI is almost always wrong, and it's more fun to research on your own. Even if you use the internet, it's more fun to go through all the links and see, is this legit? Is this legit? Compare each link and be like, okay, are they saying the same thing? Are they saying different things? It's more fun to do your own research. Get your hands dirty. Get in there. Don't use AI. Please. You'll make me cry. And you'll also ruin the earth even more than it's already being ruined. I think I'm gonna make a whole video on how to safely research magical and spiritual and witchcraft related things online. So if you're interested in learning more about how I do my research online, please comment down below so I know that that's a video people are interested in. But just to quickly touch on it so that you know how to safely research online while you're doing your dream analysis and interpretation, I would recommend while you're looking for things online, go to, like, if you're typing it into Google, type it into Google, put at the end of the search -AI, and then go through the links and look for pages that are by museums, by universities and colleges. So by going to sites that are by museums and by universities and colleges, we're ensuring that the information that we're getting is correct. You can also venture for, and then I would say the next best website type to go to are spiritual organizations and religious organizations. So there are a lot of pagan sites out there that you can look through that have great information that's really hard to find. So you can also go to those sites as well. They always pop right up as soon as you start looking up pagan related things. So as you're going through each individual thing, write down or record in some way what you found about that detail. So if there was a specific animal in the dream, write down everything that you found about that animal. And let your research direct where you go. So you might find that a certain animal is associated with a certain deity, and then you end up researching that deity. So include that information also. And another thing that I feel compelled to say is when you're writing down what you find about the correspondences and meanings and properties of each one of these details from your dream, don't limit yourself to just spiritual meanings. You know what I mean? Look at the practical facts of that thing. So like, I'll use an example that I know my sister wouldn't mind me using. I have an older sister named Jordan, which most of you who follow me here on my channel know. We have a podcast together, The Power of Two, where we rewatch Charmed. So check that out. That's here on my channel. But my sister Jordan recently had a very prophetic dream, which I won't share all the details of because it's personal, but one of the details in the dream were that there were dodo birds in the dream, a bunch of dodo birds. And so we started looking into not just the spiritual meaning of dodo birds, but the practical facts and history of dodo birds. So if you know anything about dodo birds are extinct, and they were very quickly eradicated by colonizers. So they had no natural predators. They were just wiped out kind of accidentally by all the colonizers coming through their environment. And the dodo birds had no defense mechanism, no ability to fight back or endure through the hardship of these colonizers moving into their environment. And so they were wiped out very quickly. And that sort of practical, non-spiritual, mundane information is very important to understand that dream. So look at the history and the practical aspects, the hard facts of the aspects of your dream, as well as the spiritual, more religious symbolism or meaning of the details within that dream. So after you've gone through each individual detail and you've researched as far as you can about that specific thing, then you're going to take all those pieces and you're going to add to that what's going on in my personal life right now. What's going on in my day-to-day, both spiritually and mundanely. So what's going on in my spiritual life? Am I really taking off in my spiritual life? Have I moved away from my spiritual life? Am I doing less spiritual stuff? And then practically what's going on in your life. Did you recently move? Are you going through a lot of changes? Did you start a new job? Have you lost a loved one recently? Are you feeling lost in your own self? Are you unsure of what the future holds? Have you been doing really good? Have you been feeling really awesome and great about yourself? Are you meeting a lot of new people? Are you forming a lot of new connections? Are you moving away from old patterns? So think about every single thing that's happening in your life and then see if any of those things could relate to your dream based on all the details that you've analyzed before. And sometimes you won't find anything that's happening in your life, obviously, that's related to the dream. And that's okay. Sometimes it's very quickly like, oh yeah, clearly this is about that thing I have coming up that I'm really anxious about. Or yeah, I just got out of a bad relationship, and so clearly this dream is like about letting go of that. But sometimes it's not a direct line. So if there isn't an obvious connection to something going on in your life, that's totally fine. And related to thinking about what's going on in your own life and how that could be informing your dreams, you also want to think about any non-physical beings that you have a connection to already. So are there any deities that you already work with, any guides, or spirits that you already communicate with consistently or have altars to? Have you lost any loved ones in your life, especially recently? Or even, are there any people that you know in your life who are alive, who could possibly be visiting you in your dream or sending you messages in your dream? That one is much more rare because most people are not skilled in sending, traveling to other people's dreams or sending messages to other people's dreams when they're still alive here on Earth with us. Some people are quite skilled at that, and some people actually accidentally do that. I once accidentally did that. But that's a little bit more rare, but it is a possibility, so consider that as well. Are there any pantheons you're connected with? Are you really connected to the Greek pantheon? Are you really connected to Celtic mythology? Are you really connected to Egyptian pantheon? Any of those things you want to think about. You want to think about your ancestry. You want to think about any ancestral energies that might be coming through, any pantheons or specific deities that might be coming through that you already know and that you're already familiar with. Or is this a new deity coming through? Is this a new spirit guide coming through? Is this general ancestral energy that's coming through in this dream that isn't necessarily one specific ancestor, like this is my grandma in my dream? It could be that, but it could also just be, this is all the women of my family line sending me a message through this dream. So you want to think about those things as well. You can also analyze your dream through divination. That can be a little bit harder if you're not super practiced at divination, or you don't have one method of divination that you're really skilled at or that you feel really comfortable with. So you can do practical, non-spiritual research, but you can also do divination with, like, say if you have a guide that you always go to ask questions when you're confused about things or when you need answers, then you can go to that guide and ask questions. You can use a pendulum for divination. You can do tarot cards for divination, oracle decks. You can use dowsing rods. There are a lot of methods of divination. You can also access the Akashic records to perform divination. So you can also ask questions about the dream through spiritual methods of divination. Like I said, that's not necessarily accessible to everyone. And I do think that the practical research is a must. Whether you're going to do divination or not to understand your dream, the practical research is very important and kind of non-negotiable if you want to understand your dream to the fullest extent. So then you're going to piece all of these things together to formulate your analysis, your interpretation of what that dream means. And usually at this point you feel, once you've done all this research and you've got all these puzzle pieces and you put them together, usually at that point it's very clear what the dream meant. Even if you are super confused at the start or when you first wake up from the dream, once you go through all your research, you will be surprised how much everything makes sense now. So now let's talk about some book recommendations I have for people who want to analyze their dreams. So these are books that are about correspondences, meanings, and symbolism of specific things. And some of them are specifically about dreams and sleep. So the first book that I'm going to share with you all, I honestly don't know how available it is. I think I got this at like a random thrift bookstore, but it is just called Fortune Teller, Dreamer's Dictionary. It just has a bunch of methods of divination in it for understanding things and getting answers to questions. It's got a lot of really cool stuff about dice divination, which I really love. I've been getting into that a lot. Through my Hecate worship, I've been getting into dice divination. But it also has a lot of like old folk magic methods for divination, which are really, really cool and can really help your dream magic and sleep work. And then it also has just a full dictionary of different things, objects, concepts, beings, animals, that it'll tell you the spiritual meaning or possible spiritual meanings of that specific thing. So like on this page, it's got fighting, fingers, fire, firearms, fish, flattery, flesh, flowers, flying, fog. So any of these things that appear in your dream, you then go to this dictionary. This even has like if you see your father-in-law in a dream, what that could possibly mean. So this book is really useful if you're analyzing dreams. Again, I don't know how easy it is to find this book because I found this book in a really random, weird shop. So if you can find this book, it's great. If you guys are looking for this book and you cannot find it, please comment down below that you cannot find it, because I'm thinking about possibly compiling like, I don't know if it would be like a Google Drive or something like that I can share with other people that has information like this all typed up and together in one place. So if you can't find this book, let me know and I will find a way to get you at least some of the information in this book without, you know, infringing on any copyright or getting in trouble. Sticking with books that are specifically about dreams and dictionary type books, we have this book, The Complete Dictionary of Dreams. So this book is pretty self-explanatory. As you're flipping through, it just has endless lists of things and what they could mean if they appear in your dream. So this book is really useful, endlessly useful. So like, you know, I just flipped to a random page. We're in the V's. On this page, it tells you what it might mean if there's a ventriloquist in your dream, if there's a vest in your dream, if there's a veterinarian in your dream, if there's video games in your dream, if there's a vineyard in your dream, if you're at a wine vineyard, if there are Vikings in your dream, if the Virgin Mary appears in your dream. So this is so useful. It's got so many things in it, like literally almost everything that could possibly be in your dream is in this dictionary of dreams. So this is a great one to pick up as well, and this one's very easy to get. Another dictionary type book, but not specific to dreams, but very useful for dream analysis, is this book called Animal Frequency. So this book is also a kind of dictionary style book, or encyclopedia style book, where every single page is focused on a different animal or being or species. So, you know, you've got the salamander, penguins, orangutans, lynx, lizard, gopher, like literally guinea pig, goat. Every single being that could, non-human person that could appear in your dream is in this book. And they tell you all the different possible meanings that that being could have if they appear in your dream. And it also tells you other things that are associated with that species. And some of them, most of them, even give you like a little exercise to connect with that animal and the energy of that animal. So it's super cool for a dream analysis, but it's also a really great book beyond dream analysis. Just a really useful book to have, and I'm pretty sure easy to get. The next book is also very mainstream, easy to get. It's The Complete Book of Correspondences. So this book has a lot in it. It doesn't have everything, but it has almost everything. So this book is, again, great for dream analysis work, dream interpretation, but it's really just great to have if you're a witch, if you do spiritual work. This is a great book. I run to this book often when I need to look up a specific thing and understand it on a more spiritual or deeper level. So this book has animals in it, deities in it, energy beings, angels, guardians, spirit guides, the more popular, famous ones. And then it also has concepts in it. Like I just flipped to a random page here. So this is what it looks like inside. And this page has passion on it. So it tells you all the correspondences of passion. It tells you the zodiac signs it's associated with, the moon phase it's associated with, the planets it's associated with, elements, colors, numbers, the chakra it's associated with, the herbs and trees and plants it's associated with, gemstones and crystals, also goddesses and gods and animals. This page has passion, peace, patience, the underworld, the home, honesty, and then if we go into a different section, these are all crystals. There's also gods. So, Poseidon, Prometheus, Set. It's got different pantheons, and this even has correspondences for the times of the day. It's literally got everything in here. This is a very useful book I would highly recommend for analyzing your dreams. So these two books are by Carol Rose, and they're both encyclopedias. This one is Spirits, Fairies, Leprechauns, and Goblins. The next one is Giants, Monsters, and Dragons. So like I said, I believe that Carol Rose has more versions of these encyclopedias that focus on different kinds of beings, but these are really useful books to have when you're analyzing any sort of spiritual working, whether it be a dream, a shamanic journey, an experience in the Akashic Records, a divination session, literally anything spiritual that you're doing where you interact with a being that you're not familiar with. These books are so helpful. And like I said, they're encyclopedia style. So it's, kind of looks like this. Some pages have pictures. But this book is really useful. You can look up specific beings that you came across in your dream and figure out who they are, where they come from, and what they're about. And these books are really cool too because they're very well researched. They include a lot of beings that are less known, less popular. So they're great for researching very niche things that even you yourself might not understand when you first come across them. The last book I'm going to recommend is also an encyclopedia and also has many other books by the same author that are the same style that you can pick up. So you can get like a zillion of these different kinds of books. But these are by Judica Isles. And this one that I'm going to show you, but again, there are others, is Mystics, Saints, and Sages. So when you open this one up, it looks like this on every page. And this just has a complete list of saints, spiritual beings that you might come across, and not just Catholic saints, saints of all kinds. And it tells you all about that saint, who they are, what they're about, where they come from, their history, their stories, also their associations with different correspondences. Any kind of spiritual teacher, most of them are in this book. So this book is really great to have when you're analyzing, again, any kind of spiritual working where you come across a being that you don't already know or that you need to know more about. You're unsure who they are and what they mean. This book is great. And again, there's more kinds than just the Mystic Saints and Sages. I have one of her spell books. She makes like really thick encyclopedia spell books as well. I have one of those, but she has a lot more books. So if you're interested in more encyclopedia type books so that you can research through books and not through the internet, then check out this author. Okay, that is all the information that I have to share today about dream analysis and sleep work. I hope you enjoyed this video and that it helps you to understand your dreams on a deeper, more spiritual level, which then informs how you live your life and leads to all kinds of good things. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my future videos. And remember, you can hit that join button below this video to become a member of my channel to show me some extra support and get access to members only perks. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you soon. Blessed be.